What's up, everybody, and welcome to our fifth tutorial. Well, in this case, as discussed in the previous video, that we're gonna be discussing how to actually copy directories into other directories, right? So the command we're gonna be using is copy. So this can be used to copy directories and copy files, but since we're still dealing with just directories, right, so we're gonna copy directories, right? So first things first, you just type man and then cp, right, and then you're gonna get to the manual of the command, right? You're gonna get to the manual of the Linux commands, and then you will see that this is copy files and directories, right? But in this case, we're just focusing more on just directories at the moment, since we started with just directories, right? And then you will see in the synopsis is more or less the same thing. You have the source and the destination, right? That's what matters, or that's the important part of it all, right? And then you have optional flags there, right? So in this case, if you scroll, you will see, since we're dealing with directories, right, you will see that there's this flag, right, R, which is recursive, right? This is copying directories recursively. So recursively, it's how do we actually describe recursive? If you were in programming, and then you have a function called recursive, it's a function that calls itself, right? So you can say it's more of a repetition in a way, right, until whatever action that you are doing is done. So basically, it's gonna copy until everything that needs to be copied is done, right? That's how I'd say it. So so we're gonna use that argument, right? You can use it either in caps or in small letter, I believe. So just press Q to leave the manual page for the cp command, right? And then what we're gonna do is we want to copy this directory to say we want to copy to Python master, and then we're gonna copy to other directories, right? Not just one but two or three, just to see if we can do that, right? So it's cp, right? Then we copy the source. We want to copy this directory, and then a space, and then destination. So destination is Python master, right? And then we shouldn't omit our R there, so that's the argument that we're gonna provide, right? And then we copy, right? And then we use tree. If we use tree, you will see that this directory and the directory within this directory was copied to the master command, right? So now as I've said, we're going to copy it into different directories. We're going to copy it into Javarist and Morex decoder, right? So we're going to copy YouTube, and then we're going to move it or copy it to Morex decoder, and then we're going to copy it to Javarist, right? And then we're going to go back there, minus R, and then we'll do that. Recursively, it's gonna copy this to there. Is there anything else to be copied? No, it's done. And then it's gonna move on to the next part, copy it there, and once that's done, everything is done. So I just have to run tree, and then you will see that we have copied our directories to Javarist, but then you will see that our action didn't actually do what we expected it to do. We wanted to copy this directory to that. What did it do? It copied the two directories into that directory. So destination, or the source, right, these are the files you're copying, and you're copying them to that other directory, right? So basically what we did is we copied our two directories into one directory, though our idea was to copy just one directory into those two directories, right? And which is one of the things you need to pay attention to. Of course, logically when you're doing something, right, you think you understand what you're doing, but the actual action that is being done is quite unique, right? It's quite different. So and that means that whenever you do something and then you check, because basically this is more for learning, right? And the way I'm delivering these tutorials is that I don't want them to be just more like just me teaching. I want it to be also more like just experimenting in such a way that you get to get the idea that this is how you actually learn things, right? Some of the things you're gonna figure out when you actually do. Like, have you ever read something and then not really understand, but then after doing some examples, that's when you get to understand, oh, this is this, right? It's how you learn. It's how you learn. You don't just start knowing, and you shouldn't be afraid of actually making mistakes. Mistakes do happen. It's not about making mistakes, but it's about you learning through mistakes. I know there's a lot of things, there's a lot of saying, people saying that no, don't make mistakes, don't make mistakes, what. A lot gets to be said. You get to be told a lot of things, but then it depends on the scenario. If you're in a learning environment, you shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes, because those mistakes will help you grow. They will help you in such a way that you know what to avoid when you're actually in the real world, right? Because during your learning period, you're allowed to make as many mistakes as you can, because through those mistakes you will be able to create that awareness of the do's and the don'ts, right? Which makes it easy for you to learn, right? So what we learned in this case is that what we wanted was not exactly what we wanted. So how do we actually move multiple directories into one directory, right? We'll learn more about this in the next tutorial. I don't want to make this way too complicated. So in this case, what we did is we copied one directory to a different folder, right? That's that. But now we want to copy multiple directories into one directory. Can we do that? No, not multiple directories into one directory. Yeah, that's it, right? I'm confusing myself. Cool. So what we did here is we had two sources which we moved to one destination. So it's multiple directories into one directory. That's what we did here. We copied this and this, right, into the directory. But in this case, what we want is we want to copy one directory into multiple directories, right? So we wanted to copy the YouTuber directory into Murex Decoder and into JavaList. How do we do that? We're gonna learn that in the next tutorial, if it's actually possible, right? Because it's not wise to actually just assume that it's possible. It's wise to say that, or to get to put in an action or in a question format, that can it be done, can the action be done? If the action can be done, then you can draw the conclusion that yes, it can be done. So you have the hypothesis. You said hypothesis, okay, cool. Is this action possible? And then you get to think about it before you actually do a research, and then you actually do a research, and then based on your research and your theory, right, you can get to draw a conclusion that, oh yes, it can be done or it cannot be done. I hope you guys did enjoy this series, and you did enjoy, and you are actually enjoying learning these commands. I shall see you guys in the next tutorial.